All right, good morning. Today is Monday, April 27th. I'm going to start today by going over announcements for the week. So, my first announcement is to make sure that all of your work from last week is completed and submitted in the Google Classroom. Also, make sure that you go and you complete both of the quiz is assignments for Hinduism and Buddhism. You have to make sure that you score at least a 75% on the quizzes. Another thing I want you all to do is to go into PowerSchool and take a look at your grade. Last week, I went back in and I changed all missing assignments to zeros. That really hurt a few of your grades. But the good news is you can still make up those assignments. You just need to make sure when you do them that you submit them in the Google Classroom so that I know you're finished with them. And if you have any questions about things, you can always feel free to email me. Zoom meetings this week will stay the same as they were last week. I will have one Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 1:30 to 2 p.m. or by appointment if those times don't work out for you and you have questions. Assignments for this week are due on Sunday, May 3rd by 11:59 p.m. So there will be two graded assignments. One is about ancient Indian achievements, and I will show you that document in just a minute. And one, we're going to switch over to ancient China, and one is all about Chinese geography in the form of a Pear Deck. Both those assignments will be graded and are due. I also want you just to check out one of the enrichment opportunities that will be attached to a slideshow in the Google Classroom. So the first thing that I want to just refresh your memory about, I want to draw your attention just to this world map. We've spent a considerable amount of time talking about India, in particular ancient India. So if you're looking at the map, India is right here. It is in southern Asia. It's considered a subcontinent. It is really cut off from the rest of Asia from major mountain ranges like the Himalayan mountains. But if you click on India, and this will be modern India, the earliest people there settled, if you recall, near the Indus River. So the Indus River actually runs in northern India and Pakistan. And this is where the Indus River Valley took hold, that civilization. And you learned a lot about the Indus River Valley a few weeks ago. From there, we started talking about Hinduism and Buddhism, really because that's where both of these religions started, was in northern India. So the first religion you learned about last week was Hinduism. And that was followed by Buddhism, because the man who started Buddhism was actually a Hindu prince before he changed his way of thinking. So to wrap up things with India, you are going to start with this assignment, which I'm calling it the Indian Achievements Assignment. So when you get to this assignment, the first thing I want you to do is look at a diagram. This is a diagram of something called Hindu-Arabic numerals. And it shows you how those numbers changed over the last 2,000 years. So you'll see the first century, this is what the numerals looked like. And then you'll follow them down to what they looked like in the 16th century. You're going to answer some questions about that. And then the bulk of the assignment comes with this part. So ancient India, just like the civilizations of Mesopotamia and Egypt, had many things that have influenced us even today in 2020. Hinduism and Buddhism were perhaps the longest lasting or the biggest contributions, really. But there were numerous other contributions from Indian society. So for this assignment, you are going to learn about just a few of those major advancements that these people had. So to complete this, you're going to read and complete a chart. There's 3 columns, and you're going to have to do something in each of those columns. So the column to the left is going to highlight the major advancements that the Indians had. So for example, if you follow along with me, the Indians developed something called metallurgy, which is the science of working with metals, the Hindu-Arabic numerals, something called inoculation. This is the practice of injecting a person with a small dose of a virus, something like a vaccine. Vaccines have been a topic of debate currently with everything going on in the world around us. Moving on, the ancient Indians developed epic stories. They were thought of to maybe be the first people to develop the game of chess. They were skilled with urban planning, developed cotton cloth, and yoga, just to name a few things. So what you'll do on this document, you're going to read the information in the left column. You want to start by, for each of those advancements that I just read to you, highlighting the important information in that column. I did the first one, metallurgy. I did that for you. Then you'll come over to the middle column, and this is where I want you to write the word, meaning the bold-faced word, and then a definition in your own words. So for metallurgy, I highlighted science of working with metals to mix two or more metals to create alloys like iron. My definition then, I put metallurgy as mixing metals to create new substances like iron. And then over here in the last column, I want you to find a graphic, find a picture to demonstrate the word. It would be great to include a website with your picture. However, I did not make that part of the grade this time. So this is kind of wrapping up our studies on ancient India. So when you're finished with this, you'll submit it, and then you're going to go to a Pear Deck. The Pear Deck is going to talk about Chinese geography. So if we go back to this world map, we're going to now take our focuses away from India and travel to the north and the east a bit to China. So if you click on China on this world map, this is modern China. China is the most populous country in the world today, but we're going to learn about what life was like in China thousands of years ago. So in China, you're going to see civilization settle near what is called the Yellow and the Yangtze River. This Pear Deck is going to walk you through the geography of China and why people settled in those areas. So when you get to the Pear Deck, take your time. It's self-paced. You control the pace. But I tried to make it so that everything that you need to answer on the Pear Deck is highlighted. So you want to keep your eyes out for the highlighted questions. Some of the highlighted information, you'll have to write the answers. Some will be in the form of multiple choice, and some may be circling or underlining something on a map. When you are finished doing the Chinese geography Pear Deck, you can go ahead and submit it in the Google Classroom so I know that you're done with it, but I'll also be able to see it saved within Pear Deck. And the last thing that I want you to do is take a look at what's posted in the Google Classroom under enrichment. There is a slideshow with just a few different opportunities for more learning, not necessarily more work. So there's some opportunities for you. For the first enrichment activity that you could take a look at is to play or even learn how to play chess, and you could do that digitally. I found a pretty good website that's going to show you some of the lesser known achievements in ancient India, some things that you might be surprised the Indians developed. There's a video clip that you can learn more about the geography of China. Or you could take a look at an Explore Now feature on Google Earth. In the Chinese geography Pear Deck, some of that Pear Deck is going to get into different adaptations that people had learned in order to live in China. So you'll be able to explore traditional homes around the world. The only thing I'd like you to do, if you choose that one, start with East Asia and a Mongolian gur. You'll have read about these in the Pear Deck. And then you can go and explore other traditional homes from all around the world. It's really cool. It'll take you on little three-dimensional tours through the homes. So to recap, make sure again that you're checking your work from last week, making sure it's turned in. You're checking PowerSchool and making sure that all assignments are in and completed. Zoom meetings this week are the same. Come to them with any questions that you might have. And then the Indian Achievement Document, your Chinese Geography Pear Deck, those are both due by Sunday, completed. And please just check out one of the enrichment opportunities. All right, guys, have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.